Could the vegetables on your plate be silently harming your health? Many seniors believe that all vegetables are good for them. But what if I told you that some could actually be dangerous for aging bodies? Meet Mr. Thompson, 78, a retired teacher who always prided himself on eating a healthy diet. He filled his plate with fresh vegetables every day, convinced he was doing everything right. But over time, he started feeling different. His joints ached, his digestion worsened, and he felt more sluggish than ever. Confused, he went to his doctor, expecting a simple fix. But what he heard shocked him. Some of his favorite vegetables were actually making things worse. Certain veggies, while packed with nutrients, can trigger inflammation, mess with digestion, or even spike blood sugar, especially for seniors. So which vegetables should you be cautious about? And what makes them risky? Stay with me as we uncover the 6 vegetables seniors should never eat, and why. 1. Cruciferous vegetables. Thyroid disruptors. Mrs. Helen, 74, had always been a fan of home-cooked meals. Every week she made a big pot of her favorite cabbage soup, believing it was a healthy and nutritious choice. She had heard that cabbage, along with broccoli and cauliflower, was great for digestion and packed with vitamins. But after a few months, something felt off. She was feeling constantly exhausted, struggling with unexpected weight gain, and even experiencing bouts of brain fog. Worried, she visited her doctor, expecting to hear that she needed more rest or a change in her routine. Instead, the doctor gave her a surprising diagnosis: an underactive thyroid. What shocked her even more was the culprit, the very vegetables she had been eating religiously. Her doctor explained that cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts contain goitrogens, natural compounds that can interfere with thyroid function, especially in people with iodine deficiencies. For seniors like Mrs. Helen, whose thyroid health is already more vulnerable due to aging, consuming too many of these vegetables raw or in large amounts could suppress thyroid function. This leads to fatigue, weight gain, and hormonal imbalances, symptoms that many older adults might mistakenly blame on aging itself. While these vegetables do have health benefits, they should be eaten in moderation, and preferably cooked, as cooking reduces their goitrogenic effects. So if you've been feeling sluggish or struggling with unexpected weight gain, it might not just be aging, it could be what's on your plate. 2. Eggplant, nightshade. Nightmare for joint pain. Mr. Brown, 81, had always taken pride in his garden. For decades, he spent his mornings tending to his vegetables, growing everything from tomatoes to peppers, and of course his favorite, eggplants. He loved their rich, creamy texture and used them in everything from stir-fries to roasted dishes. But over time, something changed. His arthritis, which had once been manageable, became unbearable. His fingers stiffened, his knees ached more than usual, and even his daily walks became a struggle. Concerned, he finally visited his rheumatologist, expecting to hear the usual advice about aging and joint care, but instead, the doctor asked him about his diet. When Mr. Brown proudly mentioned his love for eggplants, the doctor's expression changed. That might be part of the problem, the doctor explained. Eggplants, along with other vegetables from the nightshade family, like tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers, contain a natural compound called solanine. For some people, especially seniors with arthritis, solanine can trigger inflammation, worsen joint pain, and even lead to stiffness. Mr. Brown was stunned. He had always believed vegetables were good for him, but he never imagined that something as innocent as an eggplant could be contributing to his pain. While not everyone is sensitive to nightshades, for seniors already struggling with arthritis or inflammation, cutting back on eggplants and similar vegetables could make a big difference. If you've been dealing with unexplained joint pain, stiffness, or swelling, your diet might be the hidden culprit. Try reducing your intake of eggplants and other nightshades for a few weeks and see if you feel a difference. Sometimes the key to better health isn't just in what you add to your diet, but what you remove. 3. Potatoes, especially green or sprouted ones. Toxin alert. Mrs. Linda, 76, had always loved cooking for her family. One evening she was preparing her famous mashed potatoes for dinner when she noticed something unusual. A few of the potatoes had green patches. She hesitated for a moment, but then shrugged it off. "It's just a little discoloration," she thought. "What harm could it do?" So she peeled them as best as she could, boiled them, and served them up as usual. But that night, she felt terrible. A few hours after dinner, nausea hit her like a wave. She had stomach cramps, dizziness, and an overall sense of unease. At first, she thought it was just an upset stomach, but when the symptoms worsened, her daughter took her to the doctor. That's when she learned the shocking truth. She had unknowingly consumed toxic solanine. Potatoes, especially green or sprouted ones, contain solanine, a natural toxin that develops when potatoes are exposed to too much light. In small amounts, solanine may not cause noticeable symptoms, but when consumed in larger doses, like in green or sprouted potatoes, it can lead to nausea, stomach cramps, diarrhea, and even nerve problems like headaches or dizziness. Seniors, whose digestive systems may already be more sensitive, are particularly at risk. From that day on, Mrs. Linda made sure to carefully inspect her potatoes before cooking. If they had green patches or had started sprouting, they went straight into the trash. Remember, no meal is worth risking your health over. If you ever see green spots on your potatoes, don't take the risk. Throw them away. 4. Corn, the hidden blood sugar spike. Mr. Richard, 79, had a tradition every summer, grilling corn on the cob at family barbecues. Nothing felt more satisfying than biting into a buttery golden ear of corn, a simple pleasure he had enjoyed since childhood. But recently, something strange had been happening. His blood sugar readings were all over the place, even when he thought he was eating healthy. He cut back on sweets, watched his portions, but still, his diabetes was becoming harder to manage. Concerned, he brought his food journal to his doctor, who quickly spotted the problem. "Mr. Richard, how often are you eating corn?" the doctor asked. When he explained his love for it, the doctor nodded knowingly. Corn, while natural, is packed with starch, a type of carbohydrate that quickly turns into sugar in the body. This means it has a high glycemic index, causing blood sugar spikes that can be dangerous for diabetics or seniors trying to maintain stable energy levels. Mr. Richard was stunned. He had always thought of corn as a healthy vegetable, never realizing it acted more like a hidden sugar bomb. His doctor explained that while corn does have fiber and nutrients, it's still a high-carb food that can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and unstable blood sugar, especially when eaten in large amounts. From that day forward, Mr. Richard made a simple change. He swapped out corn for lower-carb vegetables like zucchini or leafy greens. And sure enough, his blood sugar readings became more stable. If you're struggling with blood sugar control or weight gain, be mindful of corn. It might be spiking your levels more than you think. 5. Tomatoes, silent trigger for acid reflux and kidney issues. Mrs. Margaret, 80, loved nothing more than a warm bowl of homemade tomato soup or a hearty plate of pasta with rich tomato sauce. For years, she considered tomatoes a staple in her diet. Light, refreshing, and packed with vitamins. But there was one problem she couldn't ignore. After every meal with tomatoes, she felt a burning sensation in her chest. At first, she brushed it off as minor indigestion, but over time, her acid reflux became unbearable. She found herself reaching for antacids more often than she'd like. It wasn't until a routine kidney checkup that her doctor revealed another shocking fact. Tomatoes weren't just triggering her acid reflux. They were also increasing her risk of kidney stones. Tomatoes are high in oxalates, the doctor explained, which can contribute to the formation of kidney stones, especially in seniors who may already have kidney concerns. The combination of high acidity and oxalates made tomatoes a double threat for her health. Mrs. Margaret never imagined that something as simple as tomatoes could cause so much trouble. Her doctor advised her to cut back, especially on tomato-based sauces, soups, and juices. And sure enough, after making the change, she noticed a dramatic improvement. Her acid reflux calmed down, and she felt less bloated and uncomfortable after meals. If you frequently suffer from heartburn, acid reflux, or kidney problems, it might be time to take a closer look at your tomato intake. While tomatoes have their benefits, for some seniors, they can do more harm than good. Consider reducing them or switching to low-acid alternatives like carrots or squash. Your stomach and your kidneys will thank you. 6. Spicy peppers. Digestive trouble and blood pressure. Spikes. Mr. George, 82, had a reputation in his family. He could handle spice like no one else. Whether it was chili peppers in his morning omelet or a fiery hot sauce on his dinner, he believed that a little heat made every meal better. But over time, he started noticing something concerning. After eating spicy foods, he felt a burning sensation in his stomach, bouts of acid reflux, and even occasional dizziness. One evening, after enjoying a particularly spicy dish, he felt his heart pounding harder than usual. Concerned, he went to his doctor, who wasn't surprised. "Mr. George, your love for chili peppers might be working against you," the doctor explained. Spicy foods can irritate the stomach lining, leading to acid reflux, indigestion, and discomfort. For seniors whose digestive systems may already be more sensitive, this irritation can become a chronic issue, making heartburn and stomach pain a daily struggle. Even more alarming, spicy peppers can cause temporary spikes in blood pressure. The capsaicin in peppers, what gives them their heat, can stimulate the nervous system, causing blood vessels to constrict and leading to sudden increases in blood pressure. While this isn't dangerous for everyone, for older adults with hypertension or heart concerns, it can be risky. After that conversation, Mr. George reluctantly started cutting back on his spicy meals. He found gentler ways to add flavor to his food, using herbs instead of heat. Within weeks, his acid reflux calmed down, his digestion improved, and his blood pressure readings were more stable. If you love spice but struggle with stomach issues or high blood pressure, it might be time to rethink those fiery flavors. Sometimes a little less heat can lead to a much healthier life. Conclusion. As we've seen today, not all vegetables are harmless. Some can quietly impact your health in ways you never expected. From thyroid issues and joint pain to acid reflux and blood sugar spikes, these 6 vegetables may not be the best choice for seniors. But knowledge is power. By making smarter food choices, you can protect your body and enjoy a healthier, more comfortable life. Now, I want to hear from you. Comment 9 if you found this video helpful, or 0 if you learned something new today. Your feedback helps us bring you more valuable health insights. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.